Hi, Jim Urban here. Here's a quick story of how enjoyable it is to help friends. Years ago, I did some service for a special spiritual building. And each week, this special couple would come in every single week at the same time with their smiley faces, and we made a wonderful friendship. Well, we became friends for many, many years. And they one day decided they wanted to move to Kansas. They wanted to have a house on acreage and a farm. And so the story goes this way. They decided to put their home on the market with me. I worked with them, and one day they came up to me and said, we think we have actually found the buyer. So I let them out of the contract. They paid me for their time, and they moved to Kansas. Years and years later, they decided to come back to Colorado and move into the same neighborhood. I helped them by showing them homes, both in the neighborhood that they wanted to buy in. They had many market concerns, and I gave them comfort. And this went on for almost 2 solid years before they would feel comfortable actually making this move. I gave them good advice, I did research for them, and I comforted them. Almost 2 years later, they found a property, and we put a contract on it, and it fell through during the inspection. Now, hold that thought. So this next piece is about a friend of mine who I met at Club USA, which is a gym that I work out at in Littleton, Colorado. He, like me, both love to go on bicycle rides. We thrive to get out on the bicycle and ride and enjoy the Colorado mountains and the beautiful weather that we have here. Every week we would find excuses to get out and ride on our bicycles. I would see him on bicycle tours that I would ride on. I saw him on evening bicycle organized rides that Club USA would put together. We saw each other every single week at the spin class at the gym, and we became very good friends. And one day in the locker room he came up to me and he said, "Jim, one day when I buy and sell a home, you're going to be my man." I think you can imagine how that made me feel. Someday was sooner than I thought. This year, in fact, in 2010, he came up to me. He said that he had been riding his bike through the neighborhood and noticed a house he might want to take a look at. On the spur of the moment, I said, "Okay, and let's do it." So we ran out and looked at the house that evening. Well, they fell in love with it. That was the only house that I showed them. So you got the story about the people from Kansas, and you also now have the story about my friend that I made friends with from the gym. I was able to take these 2 clients and make them a match. What I did is I gave my people a phone call just after I showed them a bunch of homes here in Denver, and when they had flown back to Kansas, I called them up and I said, "You must come out as soon as possible. I just put a home on the market. It's a wonderful ranch-style home, and I think it's going to fit your needs perfectly." And the next week they came out, and they actually bought the home. I think you know that story. Here we are, waiting for the properties to be closed, and it's getting close. So let me leave this with you. So the next time you're in a conversation with a friend, a family member, or neighbor, and they mention or you notice they need my help, feel comfortable knowing that when you introduce them to me, you are introducing them to me because they will be delighted that you did. Now, be sure to take out your cell phone, look up my number, 303-588-7000, and call me immediately the next time you run into somebody like this who needs my help. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.